Hey, welcome to Level 1 Restoration Behind the Scenes. We're out here in the alley with a 67 Z28 in Royal Plum. This is an older restoration fluff. It's holding up well. I love Royal Plum. I have a GTO that's this color. Pontiac calls it Plum Mist. And 67 Camaros in general are my favorite Camaros. Not that anybody asked, but 67 Z28 really ranks up there high, especially in a rally sport. But either way, it's a great looking car. One cool thing about the 67 Z28s, it's indicated on the data plate as to what engine the 67 Camaros and Firebirds had, which is a really cool feature. So you find one of these cars and all it is a shell. As long as it has its trim tag or data plate, you know what engine that car came with off of that. But when these cars were new and driving around, the only way you would know that this was a Z28 was the stripes, which would be a pretty obvious thing, and the wheels and tires, which would be less obvious, but they're unique to a Z28 as well. So I'm sure pretty much everyone would know, but a Z28 is a special high performance 302 engine, high compression, all manual transmission cars, straight across the board. They all had 15-inch rally wheels and a special tire that is, even to this day, difficult to get in a reproduction for these cars. So very special car. It's a little bit understated other than the stripes, but this car has been known around the hobby forever, and it came to us, basically it was getting moved from the customer Charlie's place in Arizona up to California. The car was flooding over. It had been a while since it had been polished and cleaned up, so he just sent it straight up to us. We rebuilt the carburetor. We ended up changing the door panels because they were really old, you know, from when it was restored over 20 years ago, so they make way better ones now. I'd still like to put original ones in here, but we got the best thing we can get next to that in there right now. And just a little bit of detailing. We did a thorough sand and buff on this thing and just polished a couple of different pieces here and there. It's just an awesome 67 Z28, one of only 600 and some of these cars made. One of the coolest Chevys in my book that you could even come across. So enjoy looking at this car. It's a quick little video. It's about ready to go back to its owner. All right, so seeing how we're not going to have this car for much longer here, we're going to go ahead and tack on to this video what makes this car cool video. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 for you today. So what makes a 67 Z28 cool? For one thing, is a kick-butt little engine that is really will fly. I mean, this thing is did really good in NHRA stock eliminator racing back in the day. A good power-to-weight combination. That is really cool about these cars. But I really love these 15-inch wheels and these skinny tires on these cars. One really cool thing I enjoy about 67 Camaros is this pinstripe here. I'm not sure if every 67 Camaro had it. I know for sure a Rally Sport would and a Super Sport would for sure. Maybe, or Super Sport would have it. Maybe 6-cylinder cars or super base models wouldn't, but I love this pinstripe that these cars get. When it's a Rally Sport, the tail light's different. It moves the backup lights to down below in the rear valance panel there. They have these little bumperettes on the bumper. That is really cool. And you know, I have a 67 Firebird, but I love these Camaros too, and all of these little things are kind of make it, you know, upscale like I would think a Pontiac would be, which might be one of the reasons why I love these in particular, but they're a cool car no matter what. On a Rally Sport, you would have the rocker trim down below there. They all, on a Rally Sport, they would all have wheel opening moldings and the drip rail moldings. I love all of that stuff. This particular car has a rosewood steering wheel, a center console. I mentioned earlier that they were all 4-speed cars. So on a Rally Sport with a console, the gauges are in the console. Then that's a really cool little disc brake cap on there. Of course, that was part of the package. All these Z28s had front disc brakes in 67. It wasn't until 69 that you could get the JL8 4-wheel disc brakes. And of course the hideaway headlights and the you know, really adds a lot to this car, and the stripe like we mentioned. So it's just such a great car. There's a lot to love about a 67 Camaro. And the color on this car is a particularly cool thing. They had a lot of neat colors. This is definitely one of my favorite. The dark blue is really great too. They're all really good, but I love this plum, Royal Plum color. So those are just some of the things that make this car cool. And we just really appreciate you tuning in to our channel. And if you like, please click like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And we have a lot more fun videos coming up in the near future. Thanks for watching.